The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and the Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and together they become psalms. Let me show you our Creator's 12 commandments, listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any one of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. Did you notice the letter S in sun is capitalized? This is to give respect to the Egyptian sun god Ra. Have you seen the Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican's front yard? The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. By their own words, they were not seeking to know our Creator or Jesus. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name, for the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. So why is there a single letter O in the Hebrew text 1,095 times? No proper English was used? The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing. The red highlighted words are little words that I'm adding. Gray italic words are words that I added. To respect and honor our Creator, all capital letters in purple are our Creator's words. This is Jesus' prophecy, for I am revealing the first writer's words to tell you the true truths about Jesus. As the text is revealed, you can taste the writer's style of wording. Their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. You will be watching prophecy before your eyes as I edit true truths back into their psalms. All right. Okay, let me check everything here. I think I'm ready. And oops, not that one. Okay. Well, you actually seen what I found and what I'm talking about here is Jesus being stupid. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how stupid the atheist editors of the Bible are when they talk about Jesus. This is Luke 18:8, and these are the Bibles that I've chose off of BibleHub.com. In this one, I will not use yet. I like this one because I have the concordance that is no longer available on the market, but I'm able to show you many things using that. And again, my hotkeys aren't working for that. All right, so what I got to do is show you the Bible program. That would be that. I went to BibleHub.com. I put in that verse right here, and then I selected it. Now, these are the New International Bible and the Living translations, two of the worst Bibles ever created. These two here are the King James, that's right here, and these two are the New American Standard Bible. And as you just seen, I showed you this text right here. And is it large enough? I could make it larger. There, like that. And what I'm noticing here, it is Jesus telling you, he says, I tell you, okay, that he will bring about justice for them speedily. So who is this he that Jesus is talking about? Well, I guess I need to go get the BibleHub.com and see if I can grab chapter 1 here. Or let's see, how do I do this? I guess I have to put it in Luke. And it was 18. And I've got 8. So if I just do this, okay, I have 18. Now, what the heck? I thought this was going to give me the verses here. Not looking for parable. I'm not. Nope. That isn't what I want. How come I can't get a verse from the Bible I want? Hmm. Okay, I got it. Finally. Took long enough. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy that and bring it here so we can all see it. Oh, it's too wide. So what I got to do here is I got to sit here and cut it up. And I hate that. So what I got to do is do that to the text. Yeah, let me clean this up for a little bit. Verse 8 is what I'm looking for. Whoops. Well, it's okay, I guess. So here's 8, finally. So what I need to do is figure out who is the he that he is talking about. Hear what the unjust judge said. And shall God not avenge his own elect who cry out day and night to him, though through him bears long with them. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Are we talking about our Creator here? Shall God? Well, this is really bad here. But of course, Jesus is stupid here. He can't even talk right. It's not written right. So then the Lord said, actually, this is Jesus. Then if I put Jesus here, we might start correcting the text correctly. Then Jesus said, hear what the unjust judge said. So to understand this, we have an unjust judge said something. And shall God not avenge? This is what the judge is saying. Let's change the word shall to will. And will God not avenge his own elect? Now, what does that mean by own elect? All right, so let's take a look here at the NSA. Does it? He doesn't know who the elect is. So his own elect. Okay. And God will not avenge. Let's take a look at the word avenge. Just I guess I need to start that all over. And I hate it when I do that. Okay. I was talking about who he is. So let me get back here to figure out what I was doing here. His elect. Okay. What does it mean, his elect? Well, this is actually mean that starting from Abraham, there is a promise about a king to come, and then all nations will be blessed by him, and then all nations on earth shall be blessed because Abraham obeyed him. Now, this was that he was going to kill his son. Okay. So we have the understanding that to be obedient to our Creator, he's willing to kill his own son. This is a righteousness that surpasses any kind of righteousness that you think you've been through. If you're supposed to obey our Creator, and he assigns in the Sinai for his nation the 12 commandments that they are supposed to obey. If they obey them, they stay in the nation. It comes down to when we learn that the promise to David through his son's seed shall come forth a son that will have a kingdom forever in heaven. That dictates, and that tells, that only sentence states why you go to heaven, okay? But the object is that our Creator set up in the Sinai that a tent for meeting with him, and if you didn't obey these 12 commandments, which are actually sins because you need to bring a sin offering to atone for you not obeying one of those 10 or 12, then if you did this atonement correctly and you were honestly before our Creator wanting to be forgiven, he would forgive you and you got to stay in the nation. But when Jesus is announced, they understood that the kingdom in heaven, they were going to heaven, okay, and living with our Creator and Jesus as our King. So this is what it means, all the nations of earth shall be blessed. So, but it's not just the nations, it's the people from nations that will be blessed. Now, that means that when it's called about his elect, this is his righteous ones. This one here, word here, elect, is wrong. It's his righteous ones because those that are obedient to our Creator are the ones going to heaven, okay? So right now, that is the correct word right there. And then we would know that this is talking about Jesus. So that text should be read. Okay. I know all the text is read, supposed to be, because Jesus said it. But I'm using it to show you that here you now understand who the righteous ones are, or what the word elect really means. Those that are obedient to our Creator will go to heaven. And he decides who's the righteous ones. Okay, now he also can do forgiveness and mercy because some people are innocent to the fact that other people have abused them. And they are forgiven. We have no understanding of how much mercy and compassion our Creator is going to have upon them. But they're innocent. They're going to heaven. So, but the thing here is he's talking about his own. So, will God not bring about justice for, it should be, my elect? See how easy it is to actually correct the text just like that, I got the correct answers here twice in a row and gave you an explanation of why they're supposed to be this way. Who cry out to him. Okay. Now this him is our creator. Okay. This, because you don't cry out to Jesus for justice. Bring about justice. Okay. So the thing here is I know the text was talking about that he will bring about justice for them quickly. So what we have here is the word him, meaning our creator. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a macro right now, and that's going to be, I'll show you how to put respect and honor into the text. And what I'm going to do is just say, and then I'm going to say that, and I'm going to do the shortcut key this. I'm going to sign, I'm going to say okay. And what I'm going to do is, where is it? Right here. Him. And what I'm going to do is say, this text needs to be bold and needs all cap. So where is that? That has to be under here. All capital letters will represent our creator. Bold. And then I like using Arial. So I'll do this Arial. And I need it as 11 point. Because I do everything in point. I'm trying to make macros for oh man, why did I do this? I gotta remake this macro. Okay, so this is how I'm going to honor and respect our creator in the text. Now we're talking about our creator, and we'll say that this is our creator as well. Bring about justice for his righteous ones who cry out to him. Now notice how stupid this writer is. This is supposed to be Jesus, or God Jesus, who understands everything and all things, okay? But he speaks in third person. And he doesn't know how our creator established a day. There is no day and night. When the sun is gone and there's just that twilight, you don't see the sun anymore, that moment is the beginning of the day. And it's all the way through the night and daylight back to this sun disappearing over the horizon. That is a day. That's our creator defined it as a day. And Jesus don't know that. Okay? So it has to be corrected and say night and day light. That's the truth. Okay? Now, I could also just say day and get rid of all this text here. Okay? So I could say get rid of that text, and we now understand what a day is. Now Jesus knows what a day is when the text is writing about. So we now have Jesus correctly saying what a day is. Okay? Cry out to him day, or daily, D-I, daily. Now we have him speaking even better. Okay. Just saying that stupid Jesus here didn't know what a day was because he described it as day and night, and it's actually night and day makes a day, and that's the way our Creator defined it. So it's not your secular dictionary that you can pay attention to that says what defines what the words are in the Hebrew text, or even the Greek text. Understanding the Hebrew text, you can correct truthfully what's going on with the text in the Greek. So this writer couldn't have been an Israeli that wrote that words, okay? Not the beginning words. The first writers wrote a different style of writing, okay? And I showed you that in the beginning. So let me show you again what happens when you actually find their hidden formats, okay? Now, this one has both styles. This one is a 3-verse format, and this one is a 4-verse format. Notice how I've got them punctuated at the end. This is a statement. These next 2 verses connect together to become a small paragraph. When it's repeated and they connect together, they are a larger paragraph. And you can see it does it again. Now over here, this small piece is a 4-verse. So it first is a comma and then a period. So that makes a complete verse. And 2 of them make this small paragraph, and then repeated when you read it, that becomes the larger paragraph. That is some beautiful, high-educated writing that you're seeing right there. That just stuns you when you read that, because when I put out something like, when I post something like this, and you read it and you see 1, 2, 3, 4 groups put together, that just means that is the style that they've been covering up. So the text that you're seeing in the Greek side was actually first written by Israeli writers, those true believers. Then they were killed off, the text was collected, and then those that did not believe in Jesus as our King in heaven did this to the text. The only way we can get true meaning of all these words is to understand the Hebrew text and then correct what's here. Because right now, Jesus, they made him a God and he's not. And then they got him not agreeing with our Creator. He doesn't know what the word elect is. He's talking in third person, okay? And he will delay long for them. What the hell does delay long mean? Well, let's see if we can get any help out of the concordance. We actually correct that text and make God Jesus a little bit smarter and say that Jesus is becoming wiser here by actually getting rid of the crap that's in the Bible. And he will delay, I would put no longer. I need to add this word here. So what I'm going to do is put it in italic and just put it as a gray text to say that I've added that. Let's make it gray. Maybe a little bit darker gray here. So it shows up. So will he delay no longer for them? Now that's a stupid question by Jesus. He's here. He knows he's been sent by our Creator. We have a lot of text telling us who Jesus is. But the thing here is when we get into Luke and we got him saying these stupid things, because like the Lord said, why doesn't it just put here Jesus? Okay. Now who's Jesus? Okay. All right. It's my elect, or my righteous ones, the ones that are obedient like me, my righteous ones, okay, who cried out to him daily. He will delay no longer for them. How does this mean that it's our Creator? Okay. Jesus is already sent. So Jesus is saying stupid things here. This should not even be said by Jesus. Okay, and I'm just going to make them 8 point because they're useless. Okay, I tell you that he will bring about justice for them quickly. Now the thing here is what are we talking about here? Jesus is our Savior. He is going to save us from going into what's known as the abyss. Now, the abyss is the place under the ground. Now, you have to understand how they were thinking back then. They didn't have the knowledge that we've collected over hundreds of years. So let me explain how they thought in some of the Hebrew text that I know exists. When they talk about the birds flying in heaven, we know that that means our atmosphere, okay? They fly in our heaven. That's the third heaven, by the way. The second heaven is where the star's motion makes a mountain with the North Star as its point or top of the mountain. That comes from only the New American Standard Bible, Psalm 48, verse 2. And it talks about Mount Zion in the far north. That is the second heaven. And above there is heaven, and that is where our Creator, or where Moses looked to our Creator, raised his staff and asked for the plagues to happen, where Jesus looked to heaven and asked for a blessing to feed the multitude of people that were with him. Okay, so this justice here. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot what I was trying to get to. We know that these three heavens exist. We also know that the surface that you see is called land, and underneath it is the ground. For example, in a river, you see the land, okay? Through the water, you see the land. Underneath it is ground. That's how their language was there. When our Creator said to Cain, Abel, your brother, is calling to me from the ground. They thought another dimension of space, like what the other heavens were to be presented to them, was in the ground, okay, or under the ground. So when our Creator states that he's calling to me from the ground, his soul is still alive, never no such thing as death, because our Creator is the one that only can kill the soul, and therefore the soul is still existing, but below the earth, below the ground. Up until Jesus's time, up until David's time, when they're told about a king in heaven, they knew that he was going to take those righteous ones that were in the abyss and take them to heaven. Now, we have proof in the text of this. When Jesus' body died on the cross, the earth shook. The souls ghosts were seen rising from the graves. Okay, so now we have a few hints here on where Jesus was crucified. Along the side of the road, and there was a graveyard nearby. Also, they also said that the house for our Creator cracked. Okay. Now, that earthquake shook and broke the granite blocks that made up the house for our Creator. But that's because when Jesus' body died, he instantly went to heaven. His kingdom was established, and the people that were righteous ones that had believed he was coming and were unto our Creator, forgiven, even those ones that were forgiven because they were obedient, rose to heaven, and heaven was established as his kingdom. Okay? So when it says bring justice about them for them quickly, what kind of justice are we talking about? The object is that we're going to heaven. Jesus is our Savior. He's going to save us from entering the abyss. Okay? Because the evil ones are still there in the abyss. There is no hell until Jesus' second coming that says, then all a man on earth, when they're instantly living, he's going to call their souls to heaven, and the other ones are going to go to the abyss, and then from the abyss, they're going to be sent to another place called hell, okay? And forever, they are separated from our Creator, okay? Now, the thing here is they're still going to exist, but they just don't get to know our Creator, okay, or be with our Creator, like the ones who are obedient, or Jesus' righteous ones. And now that he is in heaven as the King, now he's going to be able to say any righteous ones around the world that were righteous even before that were in the abyss, and forever until man's not existing on earth again, shall they go to heaven. And that's why when I showed you, when I show you this here text about Jesus, about the promise starting from Abram when he turned Abraham, how nations of you, well, this means from you, kings shall come forth from you. Then down here, all nations on the earth shall be blessed. It's not nations, but all races on earth will be blessed because they get to go to heaven too. That's the blessing, okay? That's how our Creator, you could say this is his favoritism or his favorite promise to you, okay, by this word blessed, blessing, okay? So here again, it is repeated. All the races on the earth shall be blessed. starting because of Abraham, who was willing to kill his son because our Creator told him to. Okay? Obedience to our Creator makes you righteous. So if you are not obeying the 12 commandments, you're not righteous. People will say there's an Old Testament and New Testament. If Jesus fulfilled all the laws and statutes to be our king, to be the most righteous male ever from earth, you cannot get away from the fact that you can kiss all that off. You're just being lied to. You don't understand what the meanings are here. For example, here we have right here, son of man, son of. Does Jesus know what the definition of the word man is? Let me explain to you. Our Creator said, I made man, male and female. That's what this word means, male and female. So this word has to be from, not of man. You cannot be born without a male seed and a woman's seed. That we know today. Long ago, we have the words from Hannah, who vowed for a male soul to conceive with a male seed to cause conception. Okay? So we have to correct this word here, and when we do correct that word, son from man, now we don't have our Creator being a liar when he told Abraham those promises, when he told David through his son's seed shall come a king from you. So here, this is now corrected, and Jesus is not stupid by saying the word of. Now, sometimes I can say that some of these verses means from or for man. When the son for man comes, okay, I could use it as this word, for man. He is for everyone. Ta-da! Did you see how I just changed it from man to having everybody on earth blessed? So I'm thinking that the word for is the correct word that Jesus is saying here. Okay? When the son for man. Now, when he comes, Jesus is so stupid here, he doesn't know he's here. Okay? When the son for man comes, and this would be talking from David's promise back to Abraham's promise. So when you think about it, you have to understand all the other text that's involved to be able to correct what I'm doing. So Jesus is not sounding stupid. But those who think there's a Trinity, here I'm showing you that God Jesus doesn't know this, know the things that I know. And the writer is just saying things that they don't, day and night. It's night and daylight equals a day. It's a day. That's the meaning. And delay no longer, and then it says when he comes. So they're trying to tie this statement with this statement that we already got rid of. Okay? Now, will he bring about justice for them quickly? That isn't the object. The object is Jesus to prove he is their king by having all the facts that our Creator was able to make him known by doing things that we cannot explain. Raising the dead by speaking, okay? Now, the story about Jesus first raising someone who's dead is when he's going from coming out of Nazareth, and there's a city 2 miles away, or a village 2 miles away, called Nan, and he meets this procession of people taking the body and going to put it in the ground, okay? And what he does is he stops and he tells the boy that's inside, it's I don't know if he's laying on like a piece of wood that they're carrying and the body is dead, or if he's in a coffin. The text is hard to tell what's going on there. It's called a brayer, I think, or something like that. But anyways, Jesus tells him to rise. So his soul is sent back into his body because Jesus is now proving he's going to be now known as the one who does complete miracles. There are stories about prophets healing people who have leprosy, okay? So there has to be text that's lost that says other prophets were healing people, because we have Jesus also, when he was leaving Jerusalem on the Passover, when he becomes this 1 year of the Lord, that our Creator's going to favor him, he heals a blind boy who actually has no eyes. He makes the clay, he rubs the clay on there, and then I've just got a flash of a warning here. Open widget or error. Okay, I gotta see if I can change the bit rate here. See if I can do that. Output. Let me bring it down to 5. Okay, I guess I will wait to see how that changes. I had it 6 and it said it was okay. There it is. There's a flash said okay. So, but now it says I'm over 5,000 KB. I'm at 58. Okay. But I'm trying to do 2 streams at one time, so I know my CPU is running at like 12 to 15%. But it can do it. It's supposed to be able to. Now, when I was saying that Jesus put clay on his eyes and gave him sight, the conversation was that no other prophet done that without eyes created the eyes for them to see. So we have 1 or 2 statements here saying that the prophets did these other things as well, not just leprosy. There's so much to learn when you read something. You have to understand it and then go into the text and say that, look, if it says no other prophet has done this, you have to understand what this is. And that was creating eyeballs. Okay? So when it says that Jesus is talking in third person about bringing justice to them quickly, we know that this is not what's going to happen. It's not about justice. It's about when you die or your body dies, where your soul goes. Okay? So I tell you that I is the correct answer here. I, Jesus, I will. Okay, let's make that red. Just a minute. I will bring about justice quickly. And it just says, I will bring them out. I will bring them into heaven. Okay. And so this is absolute lie. Okay. That is not true at all. Okay. Jesus was never a king that went around and conquered or brought forth justice for the people, taking them to establish a new kingdom and a new way of justice and getting rid of the Romans. That we all know that. So that all didn't happen. But they made Jesus God, and Jesus doesn't know what I know. Okay. And I only know what these corrupt people wrote. But our Creator is letting me know all these answers in the Bible and gathered them together and stuck it all in this little tiny head of mine. And, okay, I've got another warning here. Sorry about this. I didn't know that this is later in the day. I was streaming earlier today and I had no problem. So I'm going to put down 4,500 and now see what happens. Because I've actually got it downscaled because I'm not getting drop frames. So YouTube must have a lot of people going to YouTube right now, which is kind of strange. I streamed for, I think, 5 hours earlier, and I got none of this stuff. So, kind of wondering, see, now I got excellent again. Now it's down to 41. I'm now under the bit rate that I said I needed. Okay. Now, maybe YouTube will see the text or see the video without, I guess, stopping and stuttering. I think that's what that warning was about. Bring about justice. Okay, so we know that these words are not true. However, when the Son of Man comes, Jesus does not even know if he's here or not. Okay, so the thing here is Jesus is just being made an asshole. Okay, I mean, you people out there that are reading this text and believing every word is true, you got to wake up, because Jesus has been really stupid in these verses. Okay. And even our Creator, he's got this wrong, will not bring forth justice. Well, I guess maybe this is possibly, if I interpret it, that Jesus, after Jesus' kingdom comes, he'll bring around the justice of bringing them out of the abyss. But that's a far stretch and a lot to be said or known to understand this. And it isn't God that does this. It's our Creator gives this right for Jesus to choose who he wants in heaven, okay, with him. And so right now, Jesus is talking in third person, and then here comes something. He will find faith on earth. He can't even say, I will find faith on earth. And what is faith? Faith has nothing to do with it. It's the obedience to our Creator, okay? Now that's a verse that I could sit here and still complain about what's going on right here. But you can see that the text is absolutely corrupt and makes no sense. I could rewrite all this for it to be correct, and I literally have. And I stream on Twitch 5 days a week for roughly 2 to 4 hours, depending on how much happens before I get too tired, or if all of a sudden, because what I'm doing is Psalms right now to find the hidden formats. But the object is that you want to see me how I'm correcting the text in the Hebrew side, just to mean the first writer's formats. Come watch. We can discuss a lot of things if you want to talk about it. You can post on YouTube when you see this. That's why I put up something that I think people should click on. And when they start hearing that the intro and they learn that there's 12 commandments, they got to be scratching their head. And hopefully they made it through this video. And I know this is going to be awfully long. It's only been an hour right now. But the object is if they skip through, then they'll find different parts of me speaking, and we'll learn that I'm really here trying to correct the text and tell you what's true and what's not true. And why am I doing that? Well, let me see if I can get the text here. How come I don't have that? Where did it go? I thought I put that in here. Oh, well, I guess I will have to figure that answer out because I don't have that sitting right here. Why not? That's really strange. But if you can see right below my name here, you can see that the website is there, that you can actually go see our creator's hidden formats in the text. But how come I'm not? I'm pretty sure I looked for them and placed them here. Where'd I put them? Well, I guess that'll be for another day. I got more work to do because I got a lot of images that have a lot of information to be shown. I got them all listed, and but I just can't pull them up on buttons. I got to go look for them, which is a little bit sad. But you can see that God Jesus is stupid, plain and stupid. He doesn't even know he's on earth when he comes. When the Son for Man comes, he will find faith on the earth. Well, as you know, if you try to use the word faith here, let's take a look at that in the he will find obedient ones on earth, or he will find believers in him on earth. He will find believers of him. Okay. Now, the thing is I could also put, well, I'm just trying to correct a little bit to show you that the word faith is not really what it is. You have to be a believer that Jesus is who he is. That's why they were coming around him and gathering by the hundreds wherever he went. Okay. One, to witness miracles, but to listen to his teaching about his gospel. Not Matthew's gospel, not Mark's gospel, not Luke's gospel, not John's gospel. They are not gospel. Jesus defines what the word gospel is. So let me bring that up to show you that Jesus can actually define a word correctly. Okay. Let's see here. Defines gospel. Okay. All these verses are talking about how he's going to preach about himself and his kingdom. This is wherever this gospel, whatever Jesus is saying, is preached. His gospel must be preached on earth. You got to be talking about Jesus. Okay? All these. Now, this is number 2. Let's get to number 1, the best reasons what Jesus defines it. Gospel. Right here, the gospel of my kingdom from our Creator is preached. See that? It's very easy to correct the text when you know all the stories. You all know that it's Jesus's kingdom that came from our Creator is preached about Jesus. Okay? And then the time is fulfilled. The kingdom, my kingdom from our Creator is at hand. Repent and believe in my gospel, not the gospel, my gospel. See, there is so many words that are wrong, but when you understand these words in between, where they come from, you can put the text, correct it better. In the beginning, the gospel of Jesus, the Christ, our Son from our Creator. Okay? So, text has to be said correctly and be written correctly to actually find the truths that Jesus said instead of him being stupid, okay? But gospel means Jesus' teaching of his kingdom. Then we speak about Jesus' words about his kingdom, how we enter into heaven. Okay. So that is a verse that's stupid about Jesus teaching or speaking. Definitely wrong. Now I'm going to go grab another verse. And just don't think Jesus was stupid once or twice. I got like 45 verses. Jesus is completely stupid. Okay? But I'm kind of just doing an order today to say that, okay, you need to see some of these verses written right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these here, the King James, okay? I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them right in here. Get rid of that stupidness. Oh, I should have went on and explained here how all these other ones are saying the same thing. Faith on earth. Earth has nothing to do with it. It's the people on earth. Okay. Son of Man, when he comes. Okay. When he comes. Yeah, King James even. When he comes, he will avenge them speedily. He can't do that speedily. He had to actually obey our Creator on how he was supposed to die and suffer. It's the next highest step from what Abraham was almost going to kill his son, and our Creator said, "Stop! You're willing to obey me? That's fine." don't go any farther. And then the next highest one we see here or know of anywhere in the text is Jesus being asked to die the way our Creator asked him. Now, when he was praying on the top of a hill just outside Jerusalem, we know that he was praying and asking, let your will be done, not my will. Okay? And that was what was going to happen to him. So this is just wrong. And this was John 5:21. Although what I want to do is I want to take all the text. I got to figure a way out how to get this all to be defaulted the way I do the text, and then get my shortcuts in here, and then blow the text up. Death. I got to find death. And is that I'm not seeing it. Well, I'm really seeing some crappy things happening on YouTube. That is not even, the text isn't even readable. Let me see some of the settings here again. Let's see if 2-pass quarter resolution works. Because everything coming onto YouTube now is blurry. So I guess I've got to do this just to make sure what's going on here. This is bugging me. Why is YouTube so rotten right now? Here, this is bugging me. Why is YouTube so rotten right now? Okay, it looks good. Okay, sorry about that. I was really beginning to wonder because I'm seeing a preview screen. It is lousy. It usually is crystal clear. So I'm learning a few things here today because I got to understand what's going on to make sure that everything is running smooth so you guys actually see what I'm revealing as the truth about our Creator and Jesus. So, like I said, we don't need this here. And the King James Version has got still the Old English involved in it. Quickeneth them, riseth up from the dead, as the Father rises up. Now, The Father rises up the dead and quicken them, even so the Son quickens them whom he will. Now, what I was going to do is show you how this word is now wishes, that Jesus wishes, okay? That he wishes something. Isn't that stupid in the New American Standard Bible? He wishes, and he doesn't even know who he is. He's talking about, again, in third person, whomever he wishes. Jesus was announcing his kingdom. How can he be saying something stupid like that? And there is only one person that we know that in the Hebrew text that a person rises from death. And I don't even think the story is true, okay? So when it says rises up the dead, and I told you about the story about how he calls the boy to sit up and then he gives him back to his mother. This is something like what you could say as rising up from death. But the dead, let's put it this way, the dead would be put into the ground and say they're dead. When they're taken out to the graveyard to be buried, their practice was they didn't know if the body was dead yet, okay? So what they would do would be wrap them in a cloth and stick them on a tomb in the tombs, which means the place that the body was going to be laid is the tomb, and there are many of them in there, and they were the tombs. And then they would roll a great big, probably a wooden wheel to cover the opening up. Why did they do that? Well, because the insects would attack the body. They would first wrap it, and then they would put all kinds of herbs that they knew that the insects would not walk on or get near, okay? So they wouldn't be getting into the cloth that they wrapped them in. They would give the body 3 days, and if they didn't wake from this state, they knew they were dead, and then they would bury them in a grave. We learned this from the Black Plague in Europe, that when the grave robbers started robbing the graves, and then the people came to look at the graveyard with these graves being dug up, they noticed on the lid, on the underside of the lid of the coffin, were claw marks that people were awakening and they were trying to get out. They were literally buried alive. So what did they do in the plague days? They immediately stuck a string on the hand to go to a bell. And when the body woke up, you could hear that bell ringing, and they would rush out there and dig the body up and say, yeah, we know you're not dead anymore. This is what's known as a dead ringer. That's where the words dead ringer first came from. The Hebrews knew this. That's why they laid them in a tomb, and then they buried them. Now, they could have laid them in a cave and just had tables there, but it was covering to make sure the animals didn't come in. The bugs with the aloes and myrrh or whatever they put and incense around it. I don't know all the. I know ants don't crawl. What is it? Reeds. Okay, so you would say that a lot of the houses are the floors would have reeds on them, so the insects wouldn't be all over the place when they're inside their homes. So the raises up the dead. Jesus could only witness it that we don't know what he witnessed. Okay. Even so, the Son quicketh whom he will. Third person. Jesus is a third person speaking about a third person. He doesn't know who he is. There are so many verses that I'm going to pull out here that talk about Jesus in the third person is just stupid. You people out there need to take the text and stick it into a word processor and talk to our Creator about learning the correct words and to correct the words and keep correcting them. Or you can just trust me. And when I say our Creator made me see him, I was sent here purposely because Jesus had asked our Creator to send me here to correct the text. You will not hear anybody ever explain as much as I'm telling you here of the text all over the place. Let me give you an example. What we have in this, the 4 books, we have stories about the disciples telling Jesus to look at the house for our Creator and said, aren't the stones beautiful? They aren't stones. Okay? Plain and simple, they aren't stones. Why? David had 80,000 hewers. What were they hewing? Okay? What were they hewing? What were they shaping? Okay? Well, I can tell you that Solomon said, we have built our Creator a house forever. They were shaping granite blocks. So when you read the text that says the house wall split in 2, that was the granite blocks. They were too strong to crumble. They just split apart. Okay? Now think about this. What color were they? What color granite was it? Well, I can tell you that when Moses was told to build the tent for meeting, he was to make it out of ram hides along the side and goat hides along the top. Therefore, it was all white. So we know there's white granite blocks that made the house up. Now, when you go and look and search the quarries granite quarries in Israel, you will find there is a white granite quarry near Hebron. Jerusalem has red granite rocks or granite. So the thing here is now you know where those blocks came from. They weren't 80,000 men to having to make maybe 1,000 blocks. In fact, I can tell you exactly a cubit equals 18 inches. Okay. And if you understand the size that they're talking about, how big the house is 20 cubits by 60 cubits. I hope I'm right on that, because I think it's 20 by 30 to begin with. I might be wrong on the second dimension. I'm sorry, I forgot. But the thing here is it's not the outside dimension. It's the inside dimension. Once you understand that, you can go along and make an 18 by 18 inch by 18 inch by 18 inch square as one block, then a 1 cubic by 1 cubic by 2 cubics, 1 cubic by 2 cubics by 3 cubics, and you can construct the whole house except for one. And that's the one that goes over the doorway, and that needs to be 5 cubics long. But that's all the sizes of the blocks that are needed. And you can actually count them, and you can actually figure out the dimensions of the door on the house for our Creator by what I've just said. I've already done that. Okay? But now you know how to do this. So when I'm saying I'm very knowledgeable about the text, that's just a small example. Okay? So I'm trying to go in depth about some of these words, why he wouldn't wish, okay? The word wishes is just not in his vocabulary. He is going to do, gives life, but it's not life. He's not going to give life. He's going to take your soul and allow you to enter into heaven and not be stuck with those that are evil in the abyss and then later in hell. Okay? Just to let you know what's going on a little bit. So, now, Jesus does not wish at all. And here again, the Son. Jesus is so stupid here or they got him sounding so stupid, it's not funny. He's calling himself the Son who gives life to whom he wishes. Third person, third person, third person. Nobody speaks like that. Nobody. There's nobody that does this. Let me show you how much I cleaned up the text. Just to show you, let me open up John. This is how I edit it. In fact, I made videos of every edit that I did and explained every word that I done. But the thing here is there is a verse from Jesus here, right here, that said, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes, you will not enter my kingdom in heaven. Have you become righteous enough to sit here and tell the scribes what's right and wrong in the text? You aren't going to heaven. Okay, that's what Jesus says. This is a command by Jesus to you to clean up what the scribes are writing. Okay? And then my truths of my kingdom will be preached around the world until the end comes. Okay? Not until the true truths of Jesus is going to be revealed. And I'm here to do that. And then the whole world is to learn the true truths. And they'll do it by understanding that when I go through all these words and take these verses here and turn them into the most truthfulest words I can to get the text correct. All this, 4 and 5, that's the answer right there, okay? From him is life. That's our Creator. And by his life is his light for man. Our Creator is a being of light. For his light shone in the abyss. Our Creator made me see him 8 times. You could not edit this. You need to know that that's how our Creator shows himself in visions at night. He is a brilliant purity light that he takes you from the enemy that's trying to kill you in the abyss and raises you towards him, and then your eyes open, you're back on earth. 7 times he's made me see him. Nobody else can edit that text Okay. Now, I have made a video that explains how any male can actually go and have, listen, self-proof of afterlife. That's the video. And I explain how safe it is for a male to go and visit the abyss from the age of 13 and tell you the boundaries of what you should do or shouldn't do out there, because they will try to freeze your soul so you do not return to your body here on earth, and you will die. You will die on the earth, whether Jesus is going to take you from the abyss and take you into heaven from the abyss, but you're done living on earth. So the thing here is this is what's going on here. Now, if you notice in John 1:5, darkness did not comprehend it. This means that the light that's shining, who is our creator, they are willing to say that light is an it. And that is in every Bible. The word it is in every Bible on BibleHub.com. They all call our creator's light an it. And here's a couple other words here. In him was life, and life was in him, or light for man. I didn't put all the, I needed to shorten the text up because I didn't know about the copyright laws. So if you go and get the Bible, you'll figure out all these words in between. But was life? Life was? He is. There's no, what is it in, where was it here? He was in the beginning. What does the word was? Now, I think it was about 10 years ago, I went on a guy's site who's supposed to be this great guy on the internet that knows all the answers, and he preaches, and he's got thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people following him. And I called him out on what this word was, that how can our creator be was? Our creator is, he is, and that's it. That's all we know. Example, in the beginning, there was an emptiness, and our creator hovered in his emptiness. His emptiness and him is. That's it. That's what we know. Okay. Then he separated himself from his emptiness and created heaven, where you know that you've heard people say, I seen the light, when they have this near-death experience. And I have been told by my uncle, who was dying, that he was telling me that this is true, but they specifically told him to tell me. Okay, so I know what heaven is, this light with people living in heaven. Okay, you've heard about the near-death experience in the light, but that is our creator's light in heaven. Okay, so the thing here is he has separated himself into heaven, and then he sent some of himself back. Where else did the material come from here? All of everything that you see is perfect. You can't find anything that is not perfect. Man makes bad choices. Man becomes evil because he doesn't do the right choices. You're giving a thought that has one thought lesser than the other. If you take the lesser thought all the time, you go to evilness. Even evil is perfect. Our creator has designed everything. You can't escape from our creator. Okay? People are worried about IA. Our creator's been around as is for what we could even comprehend of trillions of years. You don't think he has everything figured out? Take a look at how big the universe is. It's all his. Everything out there is perfect. It's just, people have to understand that our Creator is sending you a message. By me cleaning this up, you go to that website that you see along the bottom here. You go look at the text that's there. That's got our Creator's hidden formats. That isn't what I'm showing here, okay? These are just cleaning up, okay? Our Creator's hidden format has rules. And when I say rules, I mean not one, not two, but 3 rules that must be obeyed to find at least 3 of the formats. The 4th one needs a 4th rule to find that format. You cannot, once you understand the rules and look for them, then you can find those formats and they become repeatable. But the words that need to be changed, for example, the text says all things. It's actually every verse came into being because of our Creator who was in his emptiness. He sent to be has come into being. Okay, that's what the text looks like when it's cleaned up. And you know that that's true. When in his emptiness, and how did the universe get around? Well, he sent it to be. And it has become into being. Okay, and he created every firsts. When you say the chicken came before the egg, the answer is the chicken. Okay? That's the understanding our Creator has put into my little head to tell you the truth. Okay? But the text that you see here is what you should be finding and looking for and correcting, because other than that, you aren't going to get all these answers correct. But you will find more truths. The more you talk to our Creator, the more truths you're going to learn. So, example, stop reading all the books. Talk to our Creator. Okay? Here's what you should do. Go to a clock, time it, and start talking everything you know about our Creator. Everything. But when you start repeating yourself, and you know you're repeating yourself, stop the time, write it down. Don't open a book. Don't do anything. Just live your life the best you can. But when you lay down at night, talk to our Creator until you fall asleep. Do this for 3 months. After 3 months, retime yourself. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. Your time is going to increase. And you're going to be shocked because you're going to realize, how much more did I talk? And then you're going to say, who taught me that? Well, what you're actually going to be experiencing is exactly the way from Noah's time, maybe even Adam and Eve's time, to up until the text was actually written. That's the way people talked to our Creator and learned about our Creator. So he wants that one-on-one with you to know your heart, whether you're going to obey him. The more you're onto him, the more righteousness you have, and then your glory is that you can talk about our Creator and Jesus. Well, I know that I've been streaming for only maybe an hour and a half right now, but I had to start this one again because I'm still learning today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call it for the night, and probably keep this one here, and the one I was doing earlier today, I will take that one down for the simple fact that There was a lot of problems I had. Streaming didn't have the right stuff, didn't have the right buttons. I still don't have the hot buttons. I still have to click on the scenes here in OBS to switch it. I know even in this one, I forgot to, and so I was talking without you seeing all this text what I do, because usually I have an iPad that I can sit there and tap and create scenes. I usually hold my hand over it, knowing that when I start talking or I go for that mouse, I got to change it. I haven't learned this one because actually I got to buy another iPad for $300 just to be able to do that. So I'm on a pension or on Social Security, so it'll take a while. But the object is once you understand how to clean the text up and just do the best you can. Take the stupidness out of Jesus, okay? The more you do this, the more you'll understand. And I know that, let's see, where am I at here? Because this is going to be the end, so I want to show some of the things that I started with. And I started by showing the 12 commandments, that there's really 12 when you study the text. In Exodus 1 through 17, you find 12 commandments, not 10. Okay? And if you're really crazy like me, you'll go through and count every board here and find out that the word bars is wrong. You change it to arches, and you are seeing for the first time the actual roof for his tent that is actually put on his house later, all because they have distorted the text by leaving the word bars. So next time when you look at the tent for meeting for our Creator on the Google searches and you see that double overlapping of the sides, that's why, because they didn't figure it out. I did. Our Creator gave me this information to change this word here. I counted every board. I figured out that it is 18 inches is a cubic. So I got every board counted, and in the website below, you can go there, click on our Creator or YHVH'S Everlasting Promises, and you can go and start reading the text at this area here, and you can see all the construction and actually put it together correctly. So the next thing I want to show is that here, again, this is the 1611 preface. These are just some of the text out of 12 pages that the translators in 1611 noted in the preface of the Bible. And I want you to see that they called Gregory the Divine with a capital D. These guys ain't lying when they put the top capital D on it. They are not who you think they are. They are not for our King Jesus, and the text is corrupt. Here's some of the reasons why they can edit, why they wrote down why they could edit the text. By the light and feeling we have attained unto ourselves, not from our Creator. I'm straight out telling you, our Creator made me see him 8 times. So I'm telling you that he's given me the knowledge to correct the text. They are telling you that the light and feeling, they got a good feeling how to correct the text. Whoops. And here, they were happy that the first Roman emperor corrected the calendar in order of the course of the sun. Why did they have a capital S on sun? Well, that's because Ra is the sun god from Egypt, and you see an Egyptian obelisk in the courtyard of the Vatican. And also behind these words means what calendar existed before this calendar. Well, I can tell you, when Nebuchadnezzar got done eating grass, he proclaimed our Creator is the Creator, and he went and took the text or talked to most likely Daniel, and Daniel told him that the summer solace is the first day of their year, and it is the holiest day because that is the Passover day, and it starts when the sun sets over the sun sets, and then there's twilight. So the thing here is that's the beginning of the first day, and it's holy. The first day of the first year is holy, not a Sabbath. It's holy. So it's the first day of the week is the holiest day. All right. But that's the problem with the text. If you thought you were studying the text for learning that you can go to heaven or not, nope. They got it right here. Lastly, the end and reward of the study thereof, that means the text that you're going to read, is just to have a fellowship with the saints in a participation of the heavenly nature. Our Creator created everything. What are they talking about a heavenly nature? Okay? And then you're going to have a fruit that will never fade away. Okay. I guess you get the idea of what's going on there. Okay. And if I just, no, what I got is these Psalms here. Whoops, I don't have them made. So I'll show you a couple of the Psalms here, and then that way at the end of the stream, these you should be ready for a screenshot program, and then be able to do this. And what you're looking at are the hidden formats of the first writers that the corruption of the writing and the Bible has been covering up all these years. You are witnessing prophecy. You are witnessing history right now.